Okay, now we're going to talk about motion picture music. This is from Passman 27, 28, 31, and 33. And this is section 1. Music usually left until the last possible moment when the film is locked, and the amount of money spent on music pales in comparison to the other production costs. It's a very small piece of these $100, $200 million films. It must meet a critical release date because the music can't be added until the film is locked, and it is at the very end, and there's a short amount of time to get the music done. So it needs to be recorded, edited, and completed in time for the set distribution date that they have. The composer has usually 8 to 10 weeks to score and record the music, and sometimes even less. It's a short amount of time for a lot of underscore. The challenge faced by the underscore composer, and we're not talking about songwriters for movies, just the underscore composer, intense time pressures, lack of a fixed and stable music budget, lack of effective communication with the filmmakers. They don't always have that direct communication unless they're a superstar composer. The battle between serving the movie, serving the director, and serving the studio. The basic function of music in film is to express and clarify the basic dramatic theme of the film and scene, and also to add another dimension of expression to the elements already in the film. There is a various hierarchy of sound. First you have dialogue, then you have sound effects, and then you have the music. Music's within the narrative. The film music is either source, diegetic, or underscore non-diegetic. Original or borrowed can be an arrangement or adaptation. So what is diegetic sound? It's the actual sound, the sound whose source is visible on the screen. Someone is singing and you hear it, you see them. It's implied to be present by the action that's happening on the film. And that can include the voices of characters, sounds made by objects in the story, music coming from instruments in the story space. The diegetic sound can be either on screen or off screen, depending on whether its source is written, whether its source is within the frame or outside the frame. So types of music used in movies. There are 3 types of music primary to most films: original underscore, original song, and licensed pre-existing song. There are many deals involved with music used in motion pictures. The following deals are some of the deals, or all the deals that they could face. The performer, the singer instrumentalist, has a deal. The record company to which that performer is signed has a deal. The record producer is involved in a deal. The songwriter has a deal. The publisher to whom the songwriter is signed, and the owner of the master recording that's sampled in the song. Also the publisher who owns a song that's being sampled. And the record company putting out the soundtrack album. So there's 8 different deals that can be involved in the music and film. So acquisition of the rights for the picture, you have to deal with the performing artists, the songwriters, composers, and publishers, record producers, and record companies, both for use of the pre-existing masters or samples in the film, and also for clearing rights to put new recordings of their artists in the film. And the license of rights from the picture company to others is a deal with a record company to release a soundtrack album, licensing film clips for music videos, and possibly a publishing administration deal. What are the 2 types of film music performer deals? There's the one to perform in the picture, and the other to use the performance on a soundtrack album or single. Think of I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston singing in that movie Bodyguard. That was used on soundtracks and etc. So there had to be a license for that. How are artists usually paid to perform in the film? They're paid a flat fee, usually. Who usually owns all the recordings made during an artist's contract? Well, it's the record company the artist is signed to. And what are the fees? It could be up to 400,000 for a major artist. The norm is 100 to 200,000 for a superstar, 15 to 25,000 for mid-level artists, 5 to 10,000 for a minor artist, 10 to 20,000 for featured instrumentalists, 100,000 for big names. All in deals. That means for a set fee, they will record and deliver a completed track. Is this a good way to go? Not really, because if the director doesn't like what you recorded, they may have you do it all over again and then you have to spend that money. It's better if it's on their dime. As far as credits, you've got the main title, you have the single card, and you also have end title credits. And that's the end of Motion Picture Music, Section 1.